let them have it.
Juan, can you tell us about the invention of techno? What were your inspirations, and how did you come up with
this
the word?
was at the time I was in high school when I got this synth, and I was like making music. I'm making whole tracks with this one Korg MS-10 because you can filter the white noise and pink noise on it to get a kick drum. You can make a whole drum kit out of basically white noise and pink noise, and depending on what kind of filter and how you filter it. And so I'm making these whole drum kits. I live in Belleville, and no other musicians, the closest musician that I could jam with was like 20 miles away. So I had to figure out how to do this by myself. And so I was making my own drum kits, and I was using the synth for various sounds. I originally started out playing guitar and bass guitar. And then when I saw the synthesizer, I kind of switched. And so long story short is that I was going to high school and I took a course called Future Studies. And the reference manual for this course was Future Shot by Alvin Toffler. And then he later released another book called The Third Wave, which was the successor to Future Shot. And like the term techno, or like he had a term in there called Techno Rebels, which was basically what we were. Like all of the work was being decentralized. People were working from their office. And what Alvin Toffler called this was like the techno village. And he explained how society was moving into into the technological age, from the industrial age to the technological age. And this word just kept ringing. And this was at the same time where the technology in music and electronic music, the 808 had just been released. We were using a DR55 before the 808. And all of these electronic new drum machines started coming out. And just, it was kind of a no-brainer to say, okay, what I was doing was techno music, well, technology music, but we shortened it to techno. And so basically, I eventually released a record with a guy that I met in community, my first year in community college, my first year out of high school. And his name's Rick Davis, and he was miles ahead of me in terms of gear and where he was with electronic music. He was a pure electronic musician. And he invited me. I used to make these demos with this Korg MS-10. And I took one over to his house. Well, not over to his house. I took it to class. And I blew all the students away with this demo. And he invited me, he said, man, why don't you come by and jam, right? So I went over there, man. I went, he had his studio in his bedroom. And I went in that room, man, and it was like walking into a cockpit of a spaceship, literally. I mean, he had it all. And I think he was playing some kind of mind recruitment trick with me, because he had it all dark, and all I could see was the LEDs blinking off all of these different synths and drum machines and shit. And I was blown away from that point on. It was like, that was my life. So we got together, we made a name of our group. It was called Cybotron, which is a combination of words of cyborg and a cyclotron. And all of this is new stuff that's just hitting public consumption at the time, you know. It's like 1980, 81. And we released we got together and we made some tracks, and we decided that okay, we can, you know, this was at a time I didn't know that you could actually release your own record. You could be your own record company. And so we were reading the books. There was one book in particular called How to Make and Sell Your Own Record. And coincidentally, we both had this book, and we were at the same time like studying this book. I had it at home, he had it at his home, and so we just combined notes and came out with this record. He had released a record, but it wasn't it was more or less just soundscapes. So, you know, it wasn't a danceable or even remotely commercially viable record. So, you know, I put the rhythm to the beat, to the rhythm behind this electronic soundscapes and came up with Cybotron. And we released a record called Alleys of Your Mind. Was our first record. And
Played that at Lumo when it first broke.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't play it. Ken played it.
Right.
And he had the white label of
you
it.
know, right.
Yeah.
But you know, we released it on 45, and you know, it was like, especially Ken. Ken wasn't playing nothing but 12 inches, and it was so funny. Somebody actually pasted the record to a 12-inch.
Maybe that's what he had. I don't know, but I know he first broke that at Lumo.
I can't remember, man. But it was so funny because we didn't, you know, that was how far away from the DJ scene we was when we was doing that. And the next record we came out and said, well, look, man, we at least it was still a 7-inch, but we had one of those small 37-inch 33. Cosmic Hearts came out. I said, man, we got to at least have one with a small hole in the middle, because you can't put it on the flat.
Everybody didn't have the 45 disc. Exactly right. Back in the old days.
Nightmare trying to put that shit on there.
Yeah.
And trying to play a 45.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, there's a story about when we played with Ken, and we was playing 45, but we'll save that story for later.
Okay.